You can heat weld immediately with Nora Dry Fix 750 tape or NTX flooring, but should wait at least 12 hours to heat weld when using wet adhesives. Do not use heat welding vertically or when welding to Nora's sanitary base. Begin by grooving all of the seams with a mechanical or hand tool, ensuring all grooves are clean. The depth of the groove must be a minimum of 1.5 millimeters with a width of about 3 millimeters. For acoustic products, groove to slightly expose the backing. However, if the groove exposes the backing fully, you'll need to use Nora Cold Weld. Preheat the welding gun to 662 to 752 degrees Fahrenheit. Practice welding on a piece of scrap flooring material first to determine the heat setting and speed. Different heat guns and the cable length will affect temperature. If the weld rod comes out during trimming, you either welded too fast or the gun is not hot enough. The best method is to run the heat gun slower and at a lower temperature. When you're ready to weld, cut a length of Nora heat weld rod sufficient to weld the entire length of the seam. Then weld the seam starting at the wall, applying slight pressure to the gun nozzle to force the melting rod into the groove. The heat weld rod must have a flattened top and small bead on both sides. Using a Mozart trimming knife with the 0.7 millimeter spacer claw to make the first trim of the weld rod warm and allow the weld rod to cool to room temperature. Next, finish trimming the remainder of the weld using only the Mozart trimming knife without the spacer claw. The finished weld should be smooth and on the same plane as the floor covering. To remove any excess weld rod left after the final trim, heat up a non-sharpened metal putty knife and gently push the knife down the seam weld. You can hold the heat gun on top of the putty knife to keep the knife warm. Excess weld material will collect on the knife.